What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Shero TV. Like and subscribe. Just no real boxing of interest to me anyway. So I only like to do videos on cards or fights, even on cards that I find interesting. So gonna go slightly off topic here this weekend. There's a fight that's in the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, and it's BKFC 6. It's between Artem Lobov, who everyone might know from his time in the UFC, Ultimate Fighter as well, but also more probably famous because he's friends and in the same gym, same coach and training partner of Conor McGregor. And he is fighting in the main event in that Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Paulie Malignaggi, of course, from the realm of boxing. This is slightly different. They don't wear boxing gloves. They still do wear. It's in its infancy, the sport. So I think they're in Florida tonight, and the commission in Florida have told them they have to have some kind of protection wrap on their hands. So it's slightly different to the previous Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships they've had so far. This is the sixth one. New kind of platform. It is boxing, but it's slightly different. It's holding, so you can hold somebody and hold their head down, even lash the punches in, and so it's kind of a crossover. It's more favourable to boxers, of course. Malignaggi, is he past it or not? He hasn't fought in a while. He's obviously retired from boxing. He came back. Obviously, they must have offered him a lot of money because he already had a good gig as a commentator for lots of different broadcasters. So he's doing quite well in the broadcasting side of things. So for him to come back to this, they must have offered him a fair whack of cash, obviously there's a bit of bad blood there the whole way through the build-up. The last couple of months, there's been quite a bad build-up, but obviously it all stems from when Conor McGregor was fighting Floyd Mayweather, and there was a spar. Paulie Malignaggi previously said that he beat up Conor McGregor with one hand behind his back, then as the camp started for Mayweather and it was official and the training camp started, Conor McGregor brought Paulie Malignaggi in to his his training regime, his sparring, as many of one of his many sparring partners. Didn't last long. It kind of, there was video released of Conor McGregor with his hands behind his back. Then that was released by Conor McGregor. He said he didn't release anything else. There was other video released of cherry picked video of bits of him beating up Paulie Malignaggi. Malignaggi left the training after a day or two. It didn't go down well. He wasn't happy. He felt he was just used and abused, brought in to be made a show of, really, because of what he previously said, and it wasn't proper sparring. A lot of bad blood from more so from Paulie Malignaggi. Conor McGregor was just kind of, usually you can tell when Conor McGregor's trying to wind somebody up. He was just kind of like, what's this guy's an idiot, whatever way you think of Paulie Malignaggi, I think he's kind of let himself down a little bit in the build up to this fight with Lobov. Obviously trying to get a lucrative fight against Conor McGregor. I don't think that's ever going to happen, but in boxing, of course, he's getting murdered in MMA. So bare knuckle fighting, next best thing is, he's offered a lot of cash to fight Lobov. I presume Conor McGregor will be somewhere there around. He's good friends with Lobov as well as training partner. I presume he's around. He hasn't really stated publicly if he's going to be there or not. But so in the build-up, Paulie Malignaggi spat at Lobov, which is fairly low. Like, that's even lower than actually putting a hand on somebody, I think. Very disrespectful. He's being quite disrespectful to Lobov, and also he slapped him in the build-up as well to the fight. I I can only imagine that Lobov is just either told he can't put a hand on somebody, because obviously if it was, a street fight, he'd kill Paulie Malignaggi because he's an MMA fighter. I know his MMA record isn't great, but it's not bad either. And when he went to the UFC and the Ultimate Fighting Championship, which is kind of the reality side of the UFC, he did have a good record. His record up to then wasn't so good, but I mean, in MMA, it's different to boxing anyway. So you're only as good as your last couple of fights, really. So yeah, he's obviously gone to bare knuckle boxing and Lobov for the money, and this has been they've been paired up because of the bad blood between Paulie Malignaggi and Conor McGregor. So it's the next best thing, and really it's closest I think Malignaggi will get to Conor McGregor, unless some crazy money is put on the table for Conor McGregor to fight Malignaggi down the line in boxing, but I doubt it. He'd obviously only want to do that for maybe 50 million or something, and I don't think people will be buying into that as much. And then obviously there's a whole side, he'd have to get the UFC on side because he's got to deal with them in place. So anyway, I don't see that ever happening. But as the actual fight, what will happen? Usually I'd side with it's a strange one, because bare knuckle boxing, you think of course the boxer's going to take it every day of the week, because a boxer will always beat an MMA fighter in boxing, just like an MMA fighter will always beat a boxer in MMA. But there's one slight thing that might give Lobov a chance. If it was straight boxing, obviously again I'd say Paulie Malignaggi, but the fact that you can hold your opponent and punch, which is something, it does happen in boxing, but it's not allowed in boxing. You can't literally be holding somebody and laying in the punches. You can't do this in bare knuckle fighting. So the fact that clinching is a big part of MMA, maybe that might sway it to Lobov. Who knows? It's gonna be really, for me, it's like a test case to see exactly in bare knuckle fighting, or bare knuckle fighting championship as they like to call it. Will, as it stands, I know the rules might change when the different commissions are getting involved. The sport's probably going to change like the UFC did, but will it be more beneficial to be an MMA fighter with a low level or an average boxing style, or is it still going to be every day of the week to the boxer? So we're going to find out. If it was in boxing, I'd pick Paulie Malignaggi. Obviously, if it was in MMA or an actual no-holds-barred fight, pick Lobov. But the bare knuckle championship, it's going to be the first one I've ever watched, so I don't really know. And as I said, it's going to be a test case to see what will happen. But I'm probably, I actually don't know. If Lobov can hold and lay off, I can see it going to Lobov. So quite early, I suppose, if he catches, and holds him properly and just starts going to town while he's holding. If Malignaggi can't get out, obviously you'd probably have to have trained, 4 clinches, because in boxing a ref will always break up a clinch. So yeah, it's on tonight. If you're watching in the UK or Ireland, it wasn't going to be shown here, but now it is on Premier Sports. You can get that on Sky or probably online as well. It's tenner sterling, so in euros it's probably they probably usually up it, so it'll probably be about 15 quid, maybe 12.99 in euros. But should be a good fight, and hope you enjoy it. On the undercard as well, there's a guy, if you do follow MMA, there's a guy called Chris Lieben. Chris the Crippler Lieben, very entertaining fighter in MMA. Obviously he's well past it in MMA. He's actually retired. He came back and then he retired again, I think. But he's started fighting under the bare knuckle fighting championship, and he's he's fighting another MMA fighter. So again, I think Chris Lieben that's gonna go there. But if you are watching it, enjoy it. I'll be watching it in the morning. I'm not gonna, no offense, I'm not gonna pay money to see that fight. You know, I wouldn't pay pay-per-view money to see something like that yet. You know, it has tweaked my interest, but not overly tweaked it enough to pay 12, 13, 15 euro, like, because I'm in Ireland. But yeah, if you are gonna watch it, the main event's on at 4 a.m. Lobov and Malignaggi. I'll be watching it on the replay in the morning, and then I'll be doing a review. So if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the morning. Okay, good luck.
Hello world, goodbye world.